welcome back. So for today's video we're going to be doing my 2020 favourites. Even though I've only been doing YouTube for a month, I still have been wearing makeup in my own time, of course, so I thought we would just dive straight into this video. Sorry, I just had some pizza, so I'm just making sure I didn't have any on my face. So yeah, we're just going to dive straight into the video. Obviously, let me know what is your favourites, your favourites this year, what you've enjoyed, or if you have the same favourites as me. I've kept it quite small, there's not a lot, just because I want it to be like a true reflection of my favourites and what I've been diving into quite a lot. So yeah, let's jump straight into the video. And for my first, so I'm going to go in like order of like your face. For my first thing, it is a setting spray. Now it is the I Heart Revolution Tasty Peach Setting Spray. Now this isn't for setting my face, but to bring out pigment like shimmers and glitters on your face. This is like £4. And I'm pretty sure there's a sale right now, so I'm pretty sure you'll be able to get it even cheaper. But this is so good for bringing out pigments in your face, and it does smell like peach sweets. So I highly recommend this for the price and to get your shimmers to pop out a lot more. I found this worked better than even using my MAC Fix Plus, which was like my trusty thing to getting pigments and shimmers and glitters to come out. So now for primers, I'm going to go into, I've only got two, and I've got one high-end one and one like semi-affordable. So as you guys can see, I've used loads of this, like I think I've used about that much now. It's a Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Primer. This is so good, just for giving you like quite a natural, like a natural glow. I think this is so good. It looks like this, but you can't really tell, but it's not a foundation. It just gives you like a natural glow underneath your foundation. And to be honest, I've used just this in quite a few of my talking videos, and it really does give like such a good radiant glow. So I highly recommend you getting this. It's expensive, but I promise you it is definitely worth the money. And then I also have my XX Revolution Second Skin Primer. I used this on my channel for the first time a few weeks ago, and I have used it quite a number of times since then. But every time I use this, like in my own personal time, I just feel like my skin looks so like perfect, like Instagram flawless perfect. You can't see any pores, you can't see any lines. Obviously I know this is on the more pricier side for Revolution, but if you guys try this, it does have the most beautiful finish. And this is for any, I tried this with a matte foundation and also a dewy foundation, and they both work exactly the same. So I highly recommend you trying this product. Now I'm going to go on to foundations, and I have three. Now, you know, without even realising, I picked like a cheap, like an affordable foundation, a mid-range, and then an expensive one. So for my affordable option, it is the Revolution Conceal and Glow. Again, if you like a dewy natural glow finish, this is so good. I haven't tried the Conceal and Define, which I know people really like. I have that in my collection, but I just haven't tried it. But this just gives off, I have it on today, like the nicest, softest glow. You can definitely build it up. It's a medium to full coverage foundation. I use the shade F5, but I will definitely repurchase this like for an everyday wear. I'll probably use this as my everyday foundation now. And then for my mid-range, it is the XX Revolution 4 Filter, I think it is. No, it's not. It's just the XX Revolution. It is a dewy one. So as you can see, like I've used quite a lot of this foundation. Again, natural, not a natural finish, but it gives you a natural, radiant, dewy glow. It is definitely a full coverage foundation. In this, I use a 3.5. Sometimes with Revolution, I feel like I have to match it to that specific like range that they're coming out, rather than Conceal and Define F5, Conceal and Glow F5. It really depends on what it says on their foundation, like the foundation range that they're coming out with. But this is such a nice foundation. Again, I will definitely repurchase this when I run out. I have 2 shades of this, but this one I feel like it's the best one. It's medium to full coverage, so you can definitely just put a little layer on if you're like just pop into the shops, and then build it up if you need to. And then the last but not least, you guys will know I absolutely love this foundation. I don't think it'll be a surprise, because I know a lot of people who are on YouTube love this foundation, but it's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Foundation. Oh, I bought another one just because I don't want to run out of this, but this just does exactly what it says. It makes your skin flawless. It is medium to full coverage. I find that just 1.5 to 2 pumps really does make this a full coverage foundation. It just, and I know a lot of people in Alex Kate's Patreon group absolutely love this, and it is the best one I've ever tried, so I highly recommend getting this if you can afford it. So for concealers, I have 2 and they're both affordable ones. I don't actually have a high-end concealer in my collection, which is a good thing, but I also want to test out a few higher end ones, but I am really happy with the ones I have so far. So the first one will be no surprise. It is the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. I have this in the shade Porcelain 2. It's so good. It's creamy, it's bright, and I'm quite pale, so sometimes I struggle to find really brightening concealers, but this definitely does this. I have it on today. I have no issues with it. It's just a cheap, good alternative to the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I love this. Repurchase 100%. I think it's like £4 or £5, but definitely one of my favourites this year. And then also the XX Revolution Concealer. I love this. I like the doe foot. I like how nice it applies onto your skin. You do have to work with it pretty quick, so I wouldn't like leave it for ages and then go back, because it does dry down pretty quick. But I love this. I have this in the shade 0.7. Again, it brightens, it hides like if I have any dark circles, and it has good coverage, so I highly recommend you pick this up if you can. But yeah, another really good concealer that I've fallen in love with this year. So now I'm going to go on to bronzer. So for my bronzer, I have 4, so I've tried to keep it down, but I do love a good bronzer. So I actually have 2 MAC products. So I have the Studio Perfecting Stick, which looks like this. It looks like a big crayon. Ooh. So it looks like a big crayon. I have this in NW40. I just use this to bronze up and contour my skin. I really like it. I think it's easy to blend out. It gives good coverage, a good colour. But most of, like, the best thing about this, it is easy to blend out. So if you're like new to the makeup game and new to cream products even, this is a really good way to start getting into it, because it is so easy to work with. And then the next one is MAC Gold Deposit, which looks like this. I have really used this. Yeah, as you can see at the top there, it's gone. This is just the nicest bronzer, and I'm really pale, and this even works for me. At first I was thinking that's not going to work, it's going to be too deep. But now going with a light hand, it just gives like a really sun-kissed look. I have also got this on today, so you guys can see it's not too deep on my skin, but I do really like a darker bronzer. So yeah, now the next one is an expensive product, but I'm going to have to include it because I do use this almost every day before Corona hit, so I'm going to have to include it because it wouldn't be truthful. There is also, if you watch my Primark tutorial, there's a dupe which I really did enjoy, but I haven't used it like a good enough amount to be able to say it like it's one of my favourites. So it is the Chanel Soleil de Tan. it looks like this. I've got loads of hair in that, but you guys can see I've really hammered this. I will be purchasing another one of these, just because it's like one of my favourite products for bronzing up my skin. I don't really want to say too much about it because I obviously know it's an expensive product, but it is really good. It's lasted me a while. Like, you don't need loads of this, so if you do have a splurge on a product and you want to buy this, it will last you for a very long time, and it is worth your dollar. And then last but not least, it's quite a new product, but as you guys would have seen in my videos, I've used this quite a number of times, and I've also been using it in my own time, but it's the Too Faced Cocoa Contour Kit. It is so good. Like, I'm surprised about how much I loved it, but then not, because I do really enjoy Too Faced products. So it looks like this. I mix these two together, and I also use this under my eyes. I don't think I'd be able to get away with that one, but I could probably, to be honest, I could probably use that one, but these two to contour, and then I could probably use that to bronze. But I love this, that it blends really easily. It applies nicely on the skin. I have no complaints about this, so definitely pick this up if you can. It is very good, and I also think this is good for travelling because you wouldn't really need to bring like loads of individual products. You could just have it in a palette like this. And then for my blushes, I've only actually got two that I really thought, oh, I've been using these a lot. This is the Life's a Peach by L'Oreal. It smells like peaches, but it is really good. It looks like this. It's just a nice peachy blush. It applies really nicely. It gives off a good amount of pigment. So I thought we're just definitely going to have to include this. I do use this a lot in my own time. And then also, this is not going to be a surprise, but it is the Revolution Peaches and Cream blush. I'm not saying that it's just this one, but this whole collection, these Revolution Blusher Reloaded palettes, they're all beautiful. I think they're like £4, so they're really not expensive at all, and I think they give off the most beautiful colours. There's a range of different tones in their collection, so if you're of a deeper skin tone or of a lighter skin tone, they have a wide range of colours for you to pick from, and for £4, like, they're very cheap. So next we are going to go into highlighters. So I have 3 highlighters. One of them, or maybe 2 of them, or maybe none of them will be a surprise, but one of them is just like my all-time favourite highlighter, not specific to 2020, but it is the Anastasia Times Amrezy palette. And this is what it looks like inside. As you can see, it really has been used, but it's just my favourite highlighter. If I was going to pick one, I would have to like throw all the rest away and just pick one. It would be this one. It's just stunning highlight for everyone. And then the next are 2 XX ones, so Disclosure and also Focus. This one I actually use as like a blush topper highlighter, just because it is a more of a pink toned, but it's stunning. Like, look at how nice that is on the hand. It's just like a pink champagne-y highlight, but I do love it a lot. And then my third highlighter from in my favourites, it is Focus. This is what I've got on my face today, but I'll swatch it so you can see. Look how stunning that one is. It's this one here. It is so nice. So that is the highlighters. Next I have 4 eyeshadow palettes. I didn't want to include loads that I bought recently that I've tested and really liked, because I thought they're not my favourites throughout the year. So basically I'm going to include this Naked Heat palette by Urban Decay. Once I open it, you guys will see. I've hit pan on this. I love these shades here. I've dipped into these, but as you can see, I really have used this palette. It's so nice. It's an everyday palette, so for an everyday palette I had to put this in. It is stunning. Next one is a Revolution Collaboration palette, and you will also see that I've really used this for 2 shades. Well, for all the shimmers really. As you can see, it is the Revolution Carmi palette. and I loved this just for the shimmers in here. So like this one was stunning, this one and this one. I loved this palette for them shades. And then the last two eyeshadow palettes is the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions. I loved using this. I've used the shimmer shades quite a lot and the matte shades. I loved wearing this. I've also got all the rest, which I'm going to do tutorials on at some point, but this is stunning. It's such a nice, again, a nice warm brownie palette, so I loved wearing this. And then last but not least for the eyes, right, so I've used this quite a few times now. I used it once on my channel, which I will link down below. It was a cranberry eye look, but I use this in my own personal time, and I just love this formula of that colour. I think that colour is so worth it just for that individual one. I have the rest, I will do tutorials on them, but honestly, just for that cranberry shade, I've never seen anything like as creamy and pigmented as easy to use as that cranberry colour there. So for me, this is worth it. But yeah, like, I absolutely love this palette. So for my lips, I've got 4 products. I don't want to overload you with products, but I thought I would show you I have a Revolution Pout Bomb, just a clear one. I really liked this. It's just a clear lip gloss. It is a bit stained because obviously I went over the top with a lipstick with that, but I love these Pout Bombs. They're not like thick on your lips, they just feel natural. They give you a bit of a pout. It doesn't feel weird on your lips, doesn't tingle or hurt or anything like that. So I love that. And then I've also got these 3 Morphe lipsticks. So I've got The Talk, Babe and Commit. So I'll swatch them on the back of my hand so you can see. So this is The Talk. So The Talk looks like this. It looks like I've never used it, but I've used it quite a few times. I've also got Commit. I love like a brownie nude, so Commit. So The Talk and then Commit. And then also the last one is Babe, which you can see I've loved and used. And I love these with like a nice gloss over the top. So The Talk, Commit and Babe. I love them. So that's all the lipsticks. They're just so creamy, the Morphe formulas. They last a while. I have no, I think for the price of them, they're really nice. So yeah. So that is all my favourites for 2020. It's not a lot. Well, it's not a lot, but it's a good amount of makeup, maybe for starting off with, or for picking 1 or 2 out of the collection that you might want to buy in 2020. Let me know what you guys have seen in here that you might pick up, or something that you already have and you really love as well. But I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.